Do it right. It's been a long helping brothers to break through without breaking. With international viewership, that means that we are getting our message worldwide and nothing can stop us from showing our brothers and their family love. So you know we had to do it right. Come on now. Brother Empowerment, we about to do it. Let's go. We love you guys. Come on,
let's go, let's go. My brother hit my phone, said, bro, let's go, let's go. We gotta build a home, we gotta build a throne, somewhere that we can roam. Let's get these brothers up and start to build each other up. It's time for us to level up and power. Yeah, we stepping up higher from the fire that ignited from the heavens up. Now it can't expire, cause my brother's always checking up. On me, put your blessings up. Homie, never letting up. On me, said, call me if you need, and couldn't believe it. I finally found brothers that's healing, now I receive it. Cause they invited me to breathe in all of the meaning of the true brotherly love. Just what I needed, man, it's such a vibe to build with brothers through the struggles. Man, it's such a high to have them help you through your troubles, make you feel alive. Cause as they raising your spirits, you start embracing your fearless. You can't deny that you're clearing all the demons from your heart, wishing it from the start. To any brother that wanna step in and be a part, cause it's easier to do it together than be apart. Hope to be the beacons of light that can shine in the dark.
Come on, let's go.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody?
What's up, beautiful people?
Hey.
It's Thursday, so you know what that means.
It's Brother Empowerment Day.
So if this is your first time watching, I apologize. I don't know what something had to happen for you not to know about Brother Empowerment. but seriously, if this is your first time watching, Brother Empowerment is a show designed to empower our brothers and their families, to help them to break through without breaking. So it's not a bashing show, but this is an opportunity to engage in a healthy dialogue. And we hope that something that is discussed will positively impact our brothers, their families, or those that they're connected to. So, bro, how was your week?
So this week, man, it's actually been pretty chill. Aside from I'm still figuring out how to replace the appliances that are steadily breaking down in my house. It's carryover from last week. I had to get my windshield replaced because a rock decided to just, Hulk smash my whole my windshield. It wasn't bad, but it was getting to the point I need to get it replaced. So really, this has been an expensive week, bro. This has really just been an expensive week. That's really all I can say. And yeah. How about you?
It's funny because ever since last Tuesday, I've been on a really reflective journey. And one of the things that I've been focusing on more than anything is just getting back centered and really focusing on not just love is a parable per se, but me, who and what was birthed or what came through as love is a parable, and finding that place and finding that center again, because it just moved me in a different direction. And so I've been having conversations with people I didn't think that I would be having conversations with. And I had just like some powerful encounters starting this morning with just some amazing people who are about to do some things. And me and my brother, Mr. Iconic Bond, also just had a dope dialogue, a dope experience today too. So it put me back in a humble place, because sometimes from a spiritual standpoint, you feel forgotten. And it just reinstated that not only that I'm not forgotten, I'm also remembered and I'm also appreciated. And the work that we're doing is not in vain. Yesterday, one of the attendees of the workshop that we're doing at Benedict College said, I feel like this workshop was relevant to my life, and there were times where I felt like you were speaking to me directly.
Yeah, I did see that.
And it's just reminding us of what we do, why we do it, man. So I'm really in a humble state right now.
Word.
What about you, Iconic?
Oh, this week has been awesome. This week has been a blessing. Last week was kind of tough. 2 weeks before that was kind of tough. Just had to take a step back, kind of reanalyze, reflect a little bit. But I'm back. We here. You know, we alive again.
Well, I'm definitely glad to have you on. For those who don't know, you're going to be seeing a lot of the brothers that help brother empowerment behind the scenes. So we don't want it to just be focused on Cordell and I in this season. We want you to know all of the brothers that are really supporting us, helping us, and doing all of those great things. And Mr. Iconic Bond is one of them. You saw him in the opening credit, but he also is one of the brothers that's part of the brother empowerment movement and everything. So, bro, you want to shout out our guest?
Yeah. So if you are in there and watching, and we don't shout you out, please put a comment in the comment section so we can get you. So you know how we love to interact with the people. So we have She-Hulk, aka Rashida, aka my Booski in the building. Hey, what's
Hey,
up?
Booski.
What's up, babe? So we got Chanel's in the building. What's going on, Chanel? She's shouting out y'all frats. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, sis.
So we got Sean from YouTube Land is in the building. What's going on, Sean?
Sean was like, I'm on today. Y'all ain't finna mess this up for me.
And we said last week, he said, I got held up on my Uber gig. Man, tell you what, I actually thought he was doing Uber and not with the kids, bro. He had I was like, tell about the kids.
Oh yeah, you don't know, know that? Yeah.
For a second, I forgot. I was just like,
yeah, we're a big old taxi cab, bro. I mean, that's what they be doing to us. I don't know why they be treating us like that.
Yeah.
So for those, like we've been saying, like we're gonna do quotes this year.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at things, this season. So we're looking at things a little different. So let's jump on into hold on. Let's jump to the first quote.
Oh boy,
brother.
A true teacher would never tell you what to do, but he would give you the knowledge with which you could decide what would be best for you to do. Christopher Pike. Sati, I'm not sure I pronounced that.
I don't know how to pronounce that either, but yeah. What do you think? What do you guys think?
Yes. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Bro.
I was just gonna say the first thing that came to mind was the what's that saying? Teach a man to fish.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I fully agree with this statement. A good teacher is going to give you the skills that you need to figure out whatever you need to figure out. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just pointing you to the answer. So I definitely agree.
Yeah, this reminds me of college courses. It reminds me of philosophy class, psychology. It reminds me of courses just in college where it's more about just teachers asking you your thoughts on the material to see what you got out of it, and if you're getting the full scope of the knowledge and the lessons in the lesson.
Right.
So yeah, that's what it was. But I think it's definitely true. I mean, because when you figure out things for yourself, it makes the lesson, the experience that much more valuable versus someone just downloading or telling you what to do or what's going on. So yeah,
I think far too often we do create societies of codependency, and it's hard for us even as adults really to break that cycle, because it's like if you've depended on your parents for whatever it is, you find yourself depending on your parents even into your adulthood. Like if you used to like for instance, my mom is good with savings, for instance. She can save some. That's it now. She can save. She can give me great techniques to save, but I will go to her to ask her about other things because I lived a life depending on her for so many years that when I become an adult, I still depend on her. And maybe that wasn't the goal as a parent, but sometimes that happens. But we live in a society that does that, where it's hard to break free and just be.
Yeah.
It's like either the identity is connected to people depending on you, or the identity is to be dependent on other individuals. And I think that this is a good example of what it should be. It should be, I give you the skills to live. It's up to you how you live. And I think that that's a beautiful part that is kind of overlooked and we need in society. You know what I mean?
That's a good point, man. The whole parenting thing too, because I've definitely come across people who you could tell their parents gave them everything and didn't really teach them how to, especially when I'm gonna single the men out, because I've definitely met a lot of men who by the time they become men, right, where they should be independent, they're still running back and relying on mom and dad. Mom and dad, I need help. Mom and dad, can I stay at your house? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. In certain situations that might be needed, that might be the last resort, and that's cool. But it's like, when that's their first option, then you can tell that they're so codependent on their parents. They never learned how to go through life and deal with whatever situation, because they don't have the skills to do that.
Yeah.
They were just given everything, spoon fed, right? Silver spoon. So that's a good point, Jay.
Well, I think the other part of it is we've created it where it's either or, meaning like, do I break fully away from my parents or do I fully depend on them? And sometimes it's like we don't understand how to live in that area of it's okay to go to get guidance, but it's not okay to live or to be a product of.
Yeah.
And I think that we missed that part more than anything,
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, we got some comments.
Some big comments.
Oh, you read that, bro.
Chanel said, this quote is so funny because I recall a sermon yesterday I listened to, and pastor said a teacher teaches you that vowels are A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y, but they don't necessarily tell you what makes a vowel a vowel. You're just taught to recite and remember rather than comprehend and understand, and you can always tell those teachers apart. I agree. Yeah, I agree.
That's a good point. And let me just add one more thing, if you don't mind. In religion, in all religions, this is actually an issue, because even in Islam, like going through Islamic school, I went through Islamic school, they would just teach us all the rules. They never told us why those rules were put in place. What was the situation that was going on when the prophet or God sent this message and said, no, you have to do this or don't do this? What was the situation? And it's funny because now as I'm growing, I'm starting to learn these things, right? And then I'm going back and I'm like having conversations with my religious leaders or my parents and being like, why'd y'all tell us that this was an absolute rule, not something that was specific to a certain situation?
And the sad part is that happens across the board, and that's where division happens, because some people think things are absolute. And I can guide you, for instance, on something, but somewhere along the way, guidance became law or principle for doing something. And so we don't know how to separate that. It's like, I always use the example, for some reason, my mama used to tell us, you're not supposed to like make tuna fish or anything in aluminum pans or anything like that. Like you supposed to always use plastic, and you're never supposed to use like a metal fork or anything like that in it. It'll spoil it. We don't know why she said that, but that's what her mom told her. She told us. And so it took me a long time to like, you're not supposed to do that. Why? It come in an aluminum can, literally.
Yeah.
But for some strange reason, we were taught these things, and it can cause friction, like the way that we clean. My wife has one way that she cleans. I have one way that I was taught to clean. And sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's bad. Like I remember that I used to over clean something that she already cleaned, because I was like, "Dang, how you clean it? You know how you got to give it an extra." And that became a problem because no one way was the right way.
Right.
It was what's best for our lifestyle. And we don't know how to differentiate between that, especially when things are being perceived or told as absolute.
Yeah.
Let me see. Eric is on. What's going on, Eric?
What's up, Eric, man? YouTube land with us.
It's been a long time. I miss you, brother. We got to catch up.
Man, last time I saw the bro was on his birthday.
Last time I saw him, he was single.
Oh, wow.
He a whole married man.
Yep.
She said, I'm going to need some of them tips. Which tips going on, Chanel?
Hey, Chanel.
taught to expect hardship as a normal part of life. What's going on, Ladarius?
What's up, Ladarius, man?
Chanel said, as parents and teachers, it's important to reaffirm people in their struggle, but their growth is not saving them. That is so true.
Growth. Yeah.
But there is growth in not saving them. I definitely agree with that on so many levels, because I don't think we know how to celebrate struggle in a way that it is a prize. Like the fact that you are going through shows a level of commitment and perseverance there.
Yeah.
We usually wait for the outcome.
Yep.
And the way we got out to be like, okay, this is my celebration. But the fact that you're still going through and persevering through, that's something worth celebrating. And we don't acknowledge that because we're always looking for finished products.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the people that have an attraction for actually unfinished stuff. Like I like unfinished wood. You know, we got a picket fence. I love the fact that it's unfinished. I wanted to paint it white, but when I saw it, I was like, this joker is nice. Sometimes that unfinished process is part of the process, and you got to stay there to appreciate it before you move on to the next thing.
Yeah. I can get with that.
And then also just to that point, Jay, one thing that I do appreciate that my father did with me, he always put me in situations, sink or swim situations. He would put me in a situation where if I didn't do something, I was going to fail. And he was going to allow me to fail just so I learn how to come back up.
You know, I see that. I just, and I'm sitting there thinking like, this is probably one of those moments where it would have been great to have a father. Because my mom ain't had time for that. Boy, get your tail on. It's like you had one option.
Yeah.
Either do it my way or do it my way right now. So I was just sitting there thinking like, wow. So were there opportunities that my mom let me fail or would have let me fail? And I don't think some parents can afford that because it ends up doing more work on them.
For them. Yeah.
Wow. Just like kids on punishment. Like putting kids on punishment is basically putting yourself on punishment. So you're like, we got to find something else out. Because if I say you can't go nowhere, I can't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Because I can't leave you.
Yeah.
And it's funny because as a parent, I'm like that, right? So with my kids, I'll be like, don't do this, don't do that. You're going to hurt yourself. And then Noor on the other side, she's like, let them hurt themselves. Let them learn.
I can see Noor doing that too. Just being like, go ahead.
Well, babe, they gotta learn.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a coddler because I do value being a parent, and at one point I wanted to be the father I didn't have, but now I just want them to know that their father was always present, and that changes. And I don't want them to experience pain that I can avoid. I want them to experience pain that I can't protect them from. And that's a little different because I feel like they're going to go through things I know nothing about. And I want them to feel, because sometimes you don't feel like home is your safety net. Like when you get in trouble, it's like home is the last place I want to go.
Yeah.
I don't want that to be for them. I want home to be the first place they go, even when they feel in trouble, even when they feel like they're going to get in trouble.
Right.
And I feel like sometimes when we as parents create scenarios of by the book or some type of rigid disciplinarian tactic, sometimes it makes us afraid to return home. And that should be the place where we're safe and free.
I can relate to that feeling in some regard. Yeah.
Well, we got to link up, bro. Make it happen.
For real, Eric, man. Let us know. Get some dates, man.
She say 100. Peace. Thank you for the enlightenment.
Word.
Thank you, brother. Shut up, Sherry. Because I ain't want to paint it. You paint your picket fence. Especially when him complaining about the Chanel, really? And we constitutionally bound.
Right.
What's going on, Roderick?
What's up, Roderick, man?
See, I hate both of them.
Block them. Oh, salam, Sister Nadira.
Hey, Nadira.
What you laughing at first before I tell you, hey? Tell us what you laughing at, and then I'll decide if I'm going to tell you, hey.
She probably laughing at what I said about Noor.
Okay. Well, you can't laugh at Nori. Yes, you can. Hey, y'all, home should be the safety net, right, and their place of refuge. Yeah. Agreed.
Hey, Lenora.
Chanel say, I talk through pros and cons. Hers is 16 and 18. I have always made sure they understand they have choices, and for every action, there is a reaction and consequence. I'm going to go to throw that in there.
Yeah, I would definitely say that my parents, when I got to be from the age of probably about 14 and up, that was their, actually, I would probably say going to 12 and 13, especially my dad, that was his thing. He was like, I'm too old and you're too old for physical discipline. We're just going to talk, and I'm just going to let you know if you do some stupid expletive, this is what's going to happen. And you can either do this or you can do that, but this is what's going to happen. Yeah.
You don't love me. No, you don't. Yes, you are. You're going to get blocked first, Sherry Queen. Oh, look, salam, my sister.
Yo, real quick, Sister Nadira, amazing mother. Her two youngest sons were in my youth group. Amazing boys, man. I've never, like, to the point where I'm trying to figure out how she raised them because I have no idea how she got them. So shout out to you, Sister Nadira. And she's an amazing cook. She makes vegan food. If anybody wants vegan food, hit her up.
Is she local? Is she in where? RDU?
Yep.
Okay. Well, send me a friend request.
Word.
And I might need you to come, get these kids in shape. There's a big difference between maintaining children and raising them.
I agree.
And she said, thank you so much. I agree as well. Mm-hmm. And I feel like sometimes parents do tolerate. Mm-hmm. And some parents also do treat their children as if they're property, not little humans. Mm-hmm. When they tell me about a bad outcome and make them identify the root cause, it's always because they didn't listen to me.
One of my dad's favorite phrases was, "What did you learn?" Like anytime something happened, like, "What did you learn?"
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing too, though. It taught me not to be honest with myself. So, like, I can say that, okay, something may have had a bad outcome, but I may have really enjoyed it.
Word.
And so I would lie and be like, I'm not going to do it again. And I was really like, ooh, I'm going to do that next week.
Just wait till y'all turn around.
Right. And
do it again.
And so I do have kind of like a different approach in regards to, I kind of try to investigate, like, what was the curiosity behind it? Like, I'm a button pusher. Mm-hmm. Like, you cannot have me like in a factory plant or nothing in them buttons.
With a sign that says don't push.
I'm a pusher.
And that reminds me of the meme where it's like don't start with me and
don't push my button.
Yeah, and it's like it has a don't start by this red button, and the dude is like, that's Jay.
Well, because it was so bad. Like, I kid y'all not, I was so bad. My mama used to whoop me in the morning because she knew I was going to do something throughout the day, and I didn't let her down. Mm-hmm. I never failed her. I earned every whooping I got, though. But I started to let it. I was like, I remember as a kid saying, okay, if I do this, what will be the punishment? Mm-hmm. Can I afford this punishment? That's how I used to do it.
Yeah.
But I remember saying things like, I'm not going to do it again.
And see, that's the earliest examples of cost analysis. What does something cost? That's business right there. That's literally
yeah. What's
oh, and if I knew like I was gonna die, like my mom was gonna kill me and resurrect me, I just did a whole bunch of stuff that day. I'm like,
might as well.
She gonna kill me, so I'm gonna do it.
Get it in.
Yo,
I'm gonna do everything.
And yeah, I'm familiar with that because my sister, or my oldest sister, I have two of them, but both younger than me. But the older of the two, is definitely a button pusher, envelope pusher, however, whatever you want to say. She is that. She is. How far can I go to this line? And the line being, her being You know what I'm saying? Strangled and resurrected.
How close?
How close can I get before I get stomped out? How close?
Yeah.
How can I get this close? Can I get this close? I might go over, but wait, I came back. You ain't see it. You ain't see it, did you?
I appreciate that. I appreciate those characteristics. Well, because I feel like if you know what a person really is trying to do or capable of doing, I feel like you can better help them. But if you're like censoring it before they even do it or even uncover what is attracting them to it, I feel like it's like a time bomb waiting to happen.
Right.
And so for me, when I look back on it, a lot of the stuff that I wanted to do wasn't necessarily bad. It was definitely explorative, and I wish that I had people to guide me along the way. And you know how like some people say, like, I regret that decision. Like, I didn't really regret too many of them because I would lay in bed and be like, "Ooh, that was fun." I'm on
learning experience,
but woo, that was fun. Let me see. Hold on. Sister Nadira said, really enjoying this conversation. So real. Most people don't keep it this real.
Stick around, you gonna see.
And we doing good tonight.
It gets better. It gets
we
better.
act like we got company.
Being proper.
So Jay Dwayne, did you enjoy getting that tail spank? I earned it. I didn't enjoy getting a whooping.
Justified the means.
Right.
He definitely made it worth it.
Right. Shut up. No, I didn't. I did not. I just did what my heart desired.
We mislabeled my brother Sherry.
Yeah, children oftentimes just want to be heard. If they feel like they are heard, it will allow them to keep that open communication with their parents.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do have to like explain why. Like my mom was old school. She came from that generation. Don't ask me why.
Right.
But I think the why is important. If you don't tell me the why, I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
Because I said so.
Yeah, and I will say to that, it's interesting because when I was younger, my dad is the person who you could tell him that like he got to get his leg cut off or something like that. He'd be like, oh, all right, but if you don't put a dish away properly, because he's very meticulous, he'll like blow up. So, and my mom is very even, but growing up, a lot of serious stuff I talked to my dad about first because at that time at least. When it came to certain things, especially big things, his first instinct wasn't to just be like, oh my God, the world's coming to an end. What did you do? He would just be like, okay, you know you did that. So, all right, this is gonna get him. This is how it's gonna go. Whereas my mom wasn't necessarily like that, at least, you know, when I was a teenager. So I ended up talking to my dad about a lot of things first, at least, because I felt like I could talk to him about certain things that he wouldn't blow up first. He would at least try to hear what I had to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like I was more secretive as a child because I would never get like the real answer behind why I would do things. And so I figured out, well, if I figured out why, I couldn't tell him I know why. So I was a kid, what you doing? Nothing?
That was me. I was secretive. I felt like my whole life was a secret for a while.
Yeah.
Right. You're doing something. No, I'm not.
Yep. My sister Taylor was like, she actually still is like that. You won't find out until you find out.
When she ready.
Be like, Shaggy, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
She said, this conversation feels like my life. Chanel said, you were a mature child because I wasn't thinking about a punishment. Man, I was thinking about that.
She was just out there. She was just having fun.
Right. Just carefree. You better look getting beat up for no reason. Don't even know why you get beat up. You better let these parents, you better think about this stuff. Let me see. I like that. What did you learn? Even when you think you have failed, we really didn't because we learned something. We never lose, but always gain something. Shout out to my brother-in-law, Harold, for teaching me that. Awesome sauce. Live and learn. See?
Yep. As long as you live and you learning.
Cordell, you ain't agreeing with me because Jaden Wayne may push you out of the camera.
No, I'm just saying, don't even mislabel my brother. Don't mislabel me either. What's up, Rick, man?
Let me see. Jay Dwayne, you were sneaky and had a sassy mouth like you do today. No, I actually was not sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
I realized, like, when you tell the truth too, people would think you were lying.
Yeah.
Because I am just honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not brutally honest, but I'm honest. And so when you would tell people, like, I remember I used to lie, and I remember one day I told the truth, and my mama beat me because she thought I was lying.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm just gonna tell the truth from here on out.
Mm-hmm.
And they be like, Jay, you're not gonna do what I told you to do. I am. You funny. Get on the room. I just told you I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then when I do it, they be like, why did you do it? I told you I was gonna do it.
What's that saying, cry wolf? Right? Like, you lied so much, because I was the same way. I lied so much when I started telling the truth, nobody believed it.
Yeah. But guess what? I felt bad for lying even as a kid, because I knew even if I told the truth, you still wouldn't give me the why. Mm-hmm. So I just was like, well, I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to tell you I did it, but I already did it. So you can't beat me for, then I tell you don't do it. No, you did not. You didn't tell me not to do it. I did it first.
Jay out there finding loopholes.
Yep. And that's why my oldest, the way she is, all I can do is just laugh. Okay, ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
What is that one?
What happened?
What happened there?
Oh, because you.
Oh, I see what happened. I was about to say, what happened here?
Never mind.
Well, somebody hacked your live.
Okay, there you go. Yep.
In actuality, when we love rightly, we know that the healthy, loving response to cruelty and abuse is putting ourselves out of harm's way. Bell Hooks, All About Love, New Visions. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind about that is abusive family members. You know, like when you encounter situations with family members or people close to you, you know, and instead of mirroring that abuse or that cruelty, removing yourself from the situation, aka out of harm's way, is the best course of action. So that's the first thing I thought of when I thought of that.
Yeah, it basically love won't tell you to run to a fist. It'll tell you to bob and weave.
I
mean, that's what it said.
I like that. Ooh.
Like, some people run right into a brick wall. Love be like, you better move to right, move. And people think because you love them, you're obligated to their mistreatment.
Right.
And those things do not coexist, and they're not all encompassing. Mm-hmm. One does not mean the other. I can love you and totally be out of your way.
Yep.
I can love you and totally be out of your presence.
Yep.
I'm not finna put myself in harm just to prove to you that I love you when my love you is enough.
Yeah. No struggle love. And that's why here at Love is a Pair and Brother Empowerment, we do not subscribe to the notion of loving people from afar. No, I love you and I don't fool with you for whatever reason. That's just I'm not going to say it nicely so so it sounds nice or your feelings are assuaged or anything. No, love you, can't be around you.
And this is the way I am is not a valid excuse either.
Right.
I ain't going to love you through your foolishness. I'm not going to love you through nothing.
Yep.
Hey, no, you got to figure that out for yourself, because I'm not going to do all of those damaging things just for the sake of what you want love should be and what you believe it is. See, the devil is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I love doesn't mean I trust everyone. Everyone's not to be trusted. Right. Mm-hmm. I agree with that as well, too. Anything you want to add to that, bro?
Y'all done said it all.
Okay. I believe that economics is based on scarcity of markets, and it's possible to monetize your art without it compromising the integrity of it for commerce. The late, great Nipsey Hussle.
Ding. Genius.
Yep. As I sit here broke. I agree with it though. I agree with it.
Why are you like this?
No, I agree with it. Like, matter of fact, me and bro just had this conversation today.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I agree with it. But sometimes when you be looking at your wallet, you'd be like, ooh.
Yeah. I think
you just want to compromise so bad.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, that's definitely, it's the route of going the way that is right and feels organic versus taking like an artificial or a cheap route. And, you know, and just like, you know, Nipsey Hussle's music, he never changed his formula, how he made his music. His music was the same from when he started making music to, you know, to his untimely demise. You know, it was the same. You know, the
content.
Right. The content was the same. The production got better. Of course, he got better at rapping, but it all stayed the same. And he never, I mean, just like he said in his business, he said, I don't, you know, he had a record deal early on, but he was like, you know, I don't want anybody with it to be able to tell me how to do what I do or their hands in the process. So I just was my own person, you know, with the team, just distribute our stuff, but you can't tell us how to make the music.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Yeah.
And even in hip hop, there's a lot of people that lose creative control of their music when they sign on to these, you know, labels or whatever, and they agree to that because to them, they're like, well, y'all just dictate what I do. That's fine. I'll just get this paycheck. So they don't. I mean, they don't even at that point. You done lost control of who you are as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely see it. It just, I guess a lot of people don't realize the price of it because if I would sell my soul to something or compromise my integrity, we would be so much further along from a financial standpoint. And so sometimes the weight of that, man, it is heavy. So I'm not going to sit there and lie. And it's like, it ain't days that you sit there and go back and forth. Like, there's certain times I'm like, ooh, this bill due. Let me go on and call. But I don't. But it's definitely a struggle, and I agree with this a lot. I agree with it a lot, but I also need to recognize how hard it is to maintain its value. And it's so different when you have something that's valuable and you're offered compensation, but it's going to compromise the very thing that is of value.
Right. It's funny because in making music, every now and then I'll get this feeling. So what I'll do is I'll create a song which would be me selling my soul type song, right? But I'll just keep it to myself. I just want to know that I could do it.
It's just okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think he might be tagging people. I'm not sure.
NFTs. Boom. That's smart. That's a new thing. Y'all. We need to. Yeah.
What is NFTs?
Non-fungible tokens. It's digital. It's essentially like you're selling it's like digital cryptocurrency type stuff. I don't know exactly what it is, but I've seen it's coming up right now. So for example, instead of you doing the show live, you could record it and sell it as an NFT, and then people would give it value, and then you start making money off of each episode rather than giving it to the public.
So if y'all don't know Ladarius, he's actually a photographer and an artist as well. In the RDU area. So put your link in there so people will know who you are, brother, and how to get in contact with you.
For sure.
Yep.
I was actually thinking about doing that for my music. Like instead of releasing a album to the world for basically pennies, if that, I make it into an NFT and sell it.
I think Tory Lanez, somebody like that actually did
Tory
that.
Lanez. Yeah, Tory Lanez is smart. Man, I think it was either an album or a single. He made it an NFT. Yeah. And what he did is he made 1 million of them. He said, these are the only 1 million that I'm going to make, and they're $1 each.
Yep. And they sold out in like, I don't know, a couple
$1 million.
Yeah.
Yep. $1 million right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he kept all ownership. All ownership. Nobody touched it because that's the new wave.
He said, definitely look into it. I'm going to look into it too. Thank you for that.
Sure.
What's going on, big sis?
Hey, Tara.
Hey, Tara.
minting music albums as NFTs are getting more known, but there's so much that can be done. Okay. And Tara was saying it's heavy. If I hosted ratchet paint parties, I could have been rich. Yes, you could have.
Yeah, because I mean, I've been to a few.
Paint and twerk.
Yep. Lenore said she didn't hear it. See, thank you, bro, for sharing that too.
For sure.
Man, if you don't put that link in there,
make it easy for the people.
Yeah, man.
And they were trying to cancel him.
Come on,
Tory Lanez.
But he did shoot the girl in the pinky toe. This ain't Harlem Nights.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, from a music standpoint and a music strategy standpoint, I think he's definitely ahead of his time with that. As far as being a person, though, I think Tory got some work to do.
We got another. How we get another Nipsey Hussle quote?
You put them all in order. Those are set to you, but I'll read this one too. On a mission, your worst enemy is idle time.
Yes.
And so, the late great Nipsey Hussle yet again. And I agree.
Yep. Well,
self-explanatory.
I guess we have to clarify what idle time is, because I do believe in reflection.
Is that idle?
But that's not idle.
I said we got to define what idle time is.
Well, I look at idle.
Don't be getting aggressive with me because I'm going against your favorite artist.
That's not idle.
Is that idle?
Bro,
is that
idle? You know, mean. The Hulk coming out.
I look at idle time is aimless time where you're just not time where you're reflecting or recharging or anything like that, but just literally time where you're just aimlessly just not doing nothing and you're just literally just
doing this right here. Just scrolling through TikTok for hours just for no reason.
Hold on, I need that TikTok hour. That's a little bit of piece of the world of confusion.
But this statement is pretty strong even for us. Like, we actually have, I forget the exact statement, but it's like if free time, the devil's gonna take that time. You just sitting there not doing nothing, your mind is gonna start going places, man, and you're not gonna be doing nothing good.
Okay.
Sorry, Jay. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I just looked up idle, so reflecting wouldn't be idle.
Right. Yeah.
It would be avoiding of work, without purpose or effect, pointless. Spend time doing nothing. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm going to say, like, recharging your batteries or really just resting isn't idle time. That serves a purpose. So, and it's just like we talk about here and moving in your purpose, you can't always be doing something. At a certain point in time, you got to recharge and recuperate, recalibrate, all those R's. So that's not idle, but the whole avoiding work or doing something that has no point at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Purposeless time.
Yeah.
Love that. I don't know what we snapping about. Said, I'm not sure about that. I don't know what we talking about. He was saying the same thing that I was thinking at first. Yeah. He is my brother. We be thinking alike. But then I had to look it up. Reflection isn't idle. My be still. They say an idle mind is a devil's playground. That is true. Right. That is true. The definition of mission is important too. Well, why you ain't put it up there? Now I gotta go look up the definition of mission. Get on my nerve. Let's see.
Something that has a goal.
Huh? You say something that has a goal?
Yeah, like
a mission is an important assignment carried out for political, religious, or commercial purposely, typically involving travel. The vocation.
You're talking about missionaries. That's talking about like missionary work.
Well, that's that's the second definition. Vocation, a religious organization, especially Christian one, to go out into the world to spread the faith.
I think the most important part of that is it's an important assignment.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
The next one is a strongly felt aim, ambition, or calling. So if you feel like there's something that you're purposed to do, like when you said purposeless time, everything should be aiding towards your purpose. So if you're not doing something, it should be at least you strategizing, meaning if you're not moving, you should be moving your mind, moving your thoughts, moving your spirit, moving your soul towards that, whatever is calling you. So I get it. Let me see. I already looked it up. Let me see. Mission is short term, high energy, get it done.
Tara always coming with the big drops.
You could have a long-term mission. You can't have a long-term mission. My mission is to become rich and famous. That's long-term. That might never happen.
I mean, I think a long-term goal might be just a long-term mission might just be a mission with a bunch of different stages or goals that you hit along the way. But yeah.
Well, I think the spirit in which you do something can be confused as your mission.
Yeah.
Because there can be a spirit in which you move, but there are several things that you knock out along the way.
Right.
That's why missions typically have objectives.
Yeah. That's what I should say. Objectives.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Been working on moving in my purpose little by little.
Yeah. Join the club, my brother. The club.
Purpose versus So I was talking about maybe more purpose. Long term is your purpose. Yeah.
Long term
journey.
I love this. This is a good one. These were good ones.
See, I have some good ones.
I know the way you protect it. Don't you dare question Nipsey.
That's why there's 2 Nipsey ones up there.
Don't you question Nipsey. Nipsey. He don't do no wrong.
Can't believe why are you acting like this, man?
A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one.
I have a problem with the state. I hear this a lot. A jack of trades is a master of none.
A jack of all trades is a master of none.
I think you can be a master at a lot of different things.
No, but the problem is, I think what this statement is, a lot of people say a jack of all trades, a master of none. They don't finish it when the statement is a master of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. So being like, you may not be quote unquote exemplary in every field that you're great in, but it still is better.
That's somebody that can only
do
one thing.
It's better for you to be well versed in a lot of things than to have one thing that you're good at.
Yeah.
Right. I agree with that. Yeah. Well-rounded is very important.
Yeah. I think it also goes to what your
purpose.
What your mission is. There is a place for people who are well-rounded and good at a lot of things, and there is a place for people who are a master of one, because it takes a long time that's relative, but I think it takes a good amount of time to be a master of anything. To be
2 years.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
I was like, okay.
But I think a master of one is where elitist mentality comes from.
Yeah.
Superiority.
Yeah.
Right. Because they're not really balancing anything else. So they focus on this one thing and they judge people based off of that one skewed perception.
Right.
Perspective.
Yeah, I get you there. That's true. That's a good point. I think that happens quite a bit in the corporate world.
Man.
You have subject matter experts who are like, oh, I'm this, but it's like, okay, well, you're that. But oftentimes you can't do anything else, or like Jay said, you judge people based on this thing, but when there's so much in the picture.
And I'm glad that you brought that up. I remember one of the first jobs I had in the pharmaceutical industry was a startup company, and a lot of them were PhDs fresh out. So they had never worked in the industry, but they thought that they were the best at everything. And I'm like, I've been in the industry at that point, maybe like 2 years. And I was like, y'all doing this wrong. And they're like, we got PhDs. Nah, we know everything. Like, y'all need to chill out, man. Chill out.
Yeah.
Not anything against PhDs. By all means, go get your PhDs. Just don't act like y'all know everything about everything. You know?
Well, I know one person. I mean, matter of fact, he was a pastor and he shut people down and he was like, why do I need to go to a seminary and study a dead man's belief? I was like, He was like, well, all these people living and you're not going to listen to anything that the living is saying? And it changed the perspective because sometimes we don't value a person until they're gone, i.e. Prophet Nipsey Hussle. We tend to moralize people when they're gone, like their word, which is valuable, but like it becomes more valuable because they transition.
Yeah.
And we don't honor a lot of times the people who are present, who are giving us a fresh perspective on how to look at things.
Yeah.
Chanel said, not to have all your eggs in one basket, so to speak. Right. As someone that is good at a lot of things, I struggle with my actual purpose, and I struggle with what my actual purpose and mastery is.
You're a master at being well-rounded.
Well, it's not uncommon because what usually happens, all of the things that you're good at, they're perceived as your major gifts, but they're really your minor gifts because they're branches to a root. And so a lot of times we focus on the branches and we focus on the leaves and see all of that. And that's how people count how great you are. But no one really digs down and look at the root and say, this is a healthy root that is capable of producing a lot of great things. There's a commonality to all the things that we're great at. And that's when you find out what your purpose is. Elijah said, they say 10 years.
Yeah, I've heard that too. E.
He said, but then again, who... See?
The people.
Yeah.
He said, don't get me started on Get on your soapbox, Rick.
Come on.
Ladera said they need
to compete.
That need to compete, to be the best, to be better than the next. Excessive ego is what messed it up for me. I agree.
Yep.
Rick said military.
That's a good one.
Come to units thinking they are smarter and more proficient because they went to college first.
Yeah.
I've heard that a lot. Yeah.
Yep.
He said, I feel healthy rivalry is good, some competition and some level of ego and being proud of a particular talent or specialty is good. But so many people lose their humble.
Yeah.
I think he was going to write something else.
Yeah, I think too many people are caught up with competition, rivalry amongst other people when in my opinion, the rivalry and competition should be with yourself and I guess the person that you were yesterday. If you have the only person I'm competing against is me at this point in my life, and I think that there's quite a few people that just haven't gotten that. We have, and it's bred into us across, I think, almost every culture, competing with your fellow person, the people you work with, people you run in your community, and that saying that is supposed to help you. But really, I think that competing with yourself and just striving to do better than you did yesterday or last year or whatever, however you want to say it, is the best form of competition. And I think that iron sharpens iron, like Ladarius was saying, is meant for internally, and not me competing against my brother. I don't need to compete against Jay. Jay doesn't need to compete against me.
Because you'll fall short. You'll come up short. Let me stop.
That's messed up. That's
a lot of ways we're not even in the same arena. And then it was like, why do I need to compete against my brother? Like we can sharpen each other in other ways, but we don't need to compete against each other. I compete against myself.
Be you the blade or not, right? I agree with you a lot. And I think that when we start looking at the motivation for competition, a lot of the competition is not really for the purpose,
right?
It's really for the benefits. So I hear a lot of times where people say, well, Jay, we basically are doing the same thing. Like I'm a motivational speaker. You're a motivational. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a love advocate. I'm a reflective thinker. You know what I'm saying? I'm an educator. So I'm not doing the same thing that you're doing. So don't, reduce what I'm doing to fit your level of competition because you may see the way that the Love is a Parable family, for instance, gravitates to one another. And you like, I want that. So what you're really competing for is the benefit. You don't care about the purpose. You don't care about the master. You don't even care about the talent.
Yep.
That's why a lot of people want the fame. They don't care about the skill set, the work ethic, or anything like that.
Yep.
Give me the fame, give me the wealth, and I'm good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, we are at 5 minutes.
Right, exactly 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're going to have to stop here, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to stop. I ain't want to, but we're going to have to.
Yeah, we got some good ones coming up, though, for real. So.
Yeah, this was actually fun.
Yeah.
Oh, this is fun. Competition has its place. It's not negative. Serena will compete with Venus every time to beat her, but she loves her. It's okay to whoop up on somebody. Tara, no, we disagree on that.
Yeah. I'm not because I'm not sure it's a competition either. I think that's just two sisters enjoying, the sport.
Oh, it's definitely a competition because that's what it's called. They compete against each other.
That's true. That's true.
But it's competition for a purpose, like you were saying, Cordell, right? Like you're sharpening each other. It's not a negative aspect where like I just want to beat you and show you that I'm better.
Yeah.
No, it's like
I'm not trying to take what you have. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Like when Tara had the art studio, everybody was like, I got an art studio too.
Mm-hmm.
I think now that's where I do think that a lot of times skill, education, training, and all of that does come into play. Like you're not doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And don't reduce what I'm doing and then think we're competing. I think that that's where it becomes negative because it's not really a competition.
Yeah.
It's really a vying. You're vying for attention. You're vying for what I'm trying to get, but you're not really competing with me because there ain't no competition.
Yeah,
and that's why I love seeing like the relationship between the NBA players sometimes that are on different teams. They might be best friends, but when they're on that court, they're competing, but it's not in, there's no like negative, there's no hard feelings, right? It's like, let's get better every time. And they're actually good friends outside the court. Yeah.
I mean, they're competing, but it's not a competition, if you get what I'm saying.
Right.
And that's something that the older NBA players don't understand about this newer generation of players. They grew up because of how basketball has changed. For instance, Kevin Durant, James Harden, all these guys grow up competing against each other, but they're friends. And so when it gets to the league, they're like, let's play together. The guys who Jordan Barkley's era, that don't understand, so like, well, wait a minute, like that was an actual competition. Like I wanted
to
keep
like
each other.
behind.
Yeah, they were like, I'm not his friend. We're competing. These guys were like, nah, we compete because of we're competing because of the sport. And somebody has to win, somebody has to lose, but it's not a competition. We're all cool. And I think that's the same thing with Venus and Serena. Right. Going back to Terry's example, like they compete at the sport because somebody got to win, somebody got to lose, and that's how the sport is structured. But to them, it's like we both play tennis, and at the end, after that, we're still cool. We're still sisters, and we're still good. Like there's no competition.
But using your basketball analogy, but the rules of basketball actually changed. Like it used to be the team, not the individual player.
What you mean?
Like basketball used to be you support the team. It wasn't an individual player.
Okay.
It became where individual players could be their own franchise, which is fairly new. Right. So people were like, no, if you're gonna be a Laker, you're gonna be a Laker.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna be your individual. You're not gonna be Kobe. It ain't no Kobe. It's Lakers.
Yeah.
And so that's where the competition came. It was connected to what team I'm gonna be on, not who's the best player. And the interesting thing is, this is why people have a problem with LeBron because he came in the middle of that era where it was like, no, are you gonna be part of a team or are you gonna look out for self?
Yeah.
And so that's where a lot of those things come into play. But I do believe that, I get what Tara is saying. Like, I do think that there is a such thing that you do compete that could be healthy. But I think maybe that's what it is. I think what people are calling competition really isn't competition. It's really trying to steal what somebody is doing or trying to bite off of what somebody is trying to do or trying to encroach upon their benefits. So, and they calling it competition, talking about it's a friendly game.
Yeah.
No, it's not when you're trying to jeopardize what I have.
Like you're trying to take my place.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
You can. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, create your own. They want to basically dethrone you and then take all your subjects. We're like, go sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
Come in your lane and try to kick you out of the lane.
Yep. Be a big body. Be in both lanes.
Right. Go sit down somewhere. Chanel said, I like the quotes better than topics from people who didn't even watch, in my opinion.
Yeah.
She's petty.
But she's actually right, though.
And why are you agreeing with her petty? She right, though.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
competition has a negative connotation sometimes, but it's extremely helpful.
I think competition itself, for sure.
Elijah said competition out of jealousy and competition for the sake of improvement are sometimes hard to differentiate. He It's about 5 minutes well spent. Nature is a competition within itself. You have to compete to survive. Our people can learn a lot from that. We need to become more competitive as people. We're behind. I'm ahead.
Yeah,
I'm a supernova.
I have a few different thoughts about that statement, but another time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he come back next week so we can finish it,
or just come on the show.
Yeah, wait, where you at?
You know what I'm
I'll
saying?
call you. Never mind. Okay, Positive Brother shout out. Who you got, Iconic Bond?
Can y'all go first?
No.
All right, fine.
Here go another one.
Listen.
Hey, no, that's
every
that's
shot.
the first time that
That's the first time somebody's like, you go, I'll go last. I got it.
I'll close it out. Y'all go ahead. I'll shut it. All right, I'm gonna do something. Today is Jay. I gotta shout out Jay, man. Jay, wow. Bro, you have I don't even have the words for it. Jay's amazing. So I'm gonna tell everybody that's watching, whoever's not watching, I don't really care. Y'all need to put respect on Brother Jay's name.
Respect.
And put respect on his name, man. Put some respect on Love is a Parable. He knows what he's doing. This stuff is, I would have never thought that Love is a Parable would have changed who I am to the extent that it changed who I am. Nobody in my entire life has been able to change anything about me. Nobody. I am the most hard-headed person. I think I know everything. And I liked the way that I was, or I thought that I did, until Jay came along and he was like, oh, you actually don't like the way that you are. You need to. Today, Jay came over. We had a conversation. It was the most emotional, clarifying situation I have ever been put in. And because how loving and caring Jay is, it gave me the ability to embrace it. And I love you for that, bro. I mean, you really know what you're talking about. Like, Love is a Parable. It's not a joke, y'all. Like, this stuff is real. Okay? It works. It doesn't matter what religion you are, what demographic you are, because love is love, and it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. So today is about you, Jay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, bro.
Ooh, man.
I'm not gonna do this. Not on these interwebs.
Well, I don't want to put all the pressure on my bro, so I'm gonna take a different turn and then come back. But no, I definitely want to shout out you, Ahmed, Iconic Bonds, man, just because this whole dynamic of you being on the show list almost every week is dope, man. I really like it a lot. It's really dope. And as I say all the time, man, you are the first, Muslim that I've known, lifelong Muslim, that has been super open about the faith and the culture. Like that to me is really big, just because some people are so protective of that. And that's one of the things that when someone is really eager to learn, that's something that can really just bridge gaps and really just mean a lot to someone. So that means a lot to me. So I definitely want to shout you out, bro. I definitely want to shout out Ladarius for coming on and really just dropping some gems himself. Like, Ladarius, man, like, you got to come back on the show every week now, man. Like, there's no, got to come back. So also want to shout out Elijah, just because for as long as I've known him, he has been someone that has challenged people's ways of thinking, and not just in a contrarian way, but in a really intelligent way, and just really on a bunch of occasions has made me think about things in a different way. And not necessarily that in a way to make me agree, but just to challenge what I thought to be cement or what I was firm on. And he is definitely one of the people that I like talking to just about a lot of things. And definitely a shout out. You said everything that I could even say about Jay, man, bro, for real. But he definitely is. I call him a supernova for a reason, just because the light shines so bright. You cannot help but be affected by it when you experience it, when you see it. Like, you just can't. So it's just one of those things where it changes you forever. And like yourself, I thought there's things about me that would not change. And as we see here, I am, well, yeah, some of y'all didn't know me way back then, but I am definitely a different person and a better person. So definitely shout out my brother Jay, and shout out to all the brothers out there who are being brothers and sharpening other brothers. That's it.
Oh, yeah, I want to challenge all of my brothers to forgive yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm talking about forgiving yourself, it's like the things that you don't really share with anybody, the things that you're compromising on that are somewhat keeping you up at night, and somewhat you're contemplating and thinking that people can't really handle. I want to challenge you to just really forgive yourself for doing, like what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Life is about surviving, and you can't hold yourself in contempt because you decided to survive. You decided to live. You decided to do what was best for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to challenge people too to have tough conversations with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to really sit down and talk to yourself. For some strange reason, we feel like we have to explain everything to everybody else for it to make sense, and that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing that you have to do is accept yourself. When you accept yourself and embrace yourself, you gain a level of understanding of how this world truly operates and who you are in it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to get people to reason with you. Stop trying to get people to understand you. You understand you, and you'll realize that everyone that you encounter, they are gifted by your presence.
Mm-hmm.
Not you searching for something. You don't search for validation, you give it.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you understand your value, you understand your valuation tends to lean towards your validation. The validation is in the value. And so you owe it to yourself to start to embrace yourself, but it begins with you forgiving yourself. You know that you had to do some of those things, but the other side of that is you can't hold yourself in contempt. You can't continue to hold yourself down. You're robbing yourself of an opportunity to truly tap into your organic potential.
Mm-hmm.
And who's ever just dealing with commitments that you really don't want to be in, it's time for you to sever those relationships, because you have been separated for a very long time. You just didn't make it official, but you've been separated in your mind, separated in your soul, separated in your actions, separated in your behaviors. It's time to let those things go. And these are things that we're not really committed to. We're just trying to save face. Let that stuff go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time for you to really pursue who you truly are. Tap into you. So this shout out is to those brothers who are really struggling, trying to balance who they are versus who they are expected to be. Know that you're not alone. Know that you are embraced, and know that you are loved. So if you feel like nobody in this world love you, nobody that you can talk to, reach out to us, because it's three brothers that are standing right here today that you know that will be there for you regardless of how you see yourself. We'll see you guys next week, and we love you.
Love y'all.
Cause as they raising your spirits, you start embracing your fearless. You can't deny that you're clearing all the demons from your heart, wishing it from the start. To any brother that wanna step in and be a part, cause it's easier to do it together than be apart. Hope to be the beacons of light that can shine in the dark.